The regular meeting of the Architectural Review Committee is now open at 9:11 a.m. on Friday, October 6th. I am Jamie Harper, taking over for the chairman, Aaron Shaver, of this meeting. Will the secretary please call roll?
Greg Toth. Here. Jonathan Nelms. Jamie Harper. Aaron Shaver. Chris Martin.
Here.
There are 5 members of the committee, thus any decision must have 3 votes to pass.
Oh boy, you better hope this is good.
Members of the committee received copies of the minutes of the last meeting. Are there any questions or corrections? Is there a motion to approve the minutes as presented or as amended?
I see no corrections. I make a motion to pass.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
The minutes have been approved? Aye. Today, we will hear case number 2305, or we'll hear one case. Has any committee member been in contact with the petitioners, advocates, or opponents in regard to any petition before the committee today?
No.
No.
I have, just for the purpose of the review. Has proper notification been made, and do we have proper verification in all cases in today's docket? Yes. We are taping this meeting. All those wishing to speak must come to the microphone and state their name and address. Comments not made at the microphone will be considered part of this, will not be considered part of this testimony. Since we have a variance, this is a quasi judicial committee and must have sworn testimony. Will everyone who will have something to say during this meeting, please rise and raise your hand, your right hand. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? If so, please state your name and say, I do.
Marsha Horning, yes, I do.
Okay, you're good. So, the first case on the agenda for consideration is case number 23-05. Will the recording secretary please read the petition?
Case 23-05, the petition of Marsha Horning, representing She Gunshiam, requesting a PUD development plan review and various variances from developmental standards for a Dunkin' and Jimmy John's restaurant with drive-through and indoor dining to be allowed to use corrugated metal and to have a lesser side yard setback. The property is located at 3900 East Market Street, Logansport, Indiana, 46947, and is zoned LV PUD, Lexington Village PUD.
Okay, will the petitioner advance to the microphone, state your name and address for the record, and then, no, right there.
Marsha Horning, I'm with Jeffrey Scott Architects, 32316 Grand River Avenue, Farmington, Michigan.
And then you can either tell us about the case or I can go over what we have.
I can run it through.
Okay, and then I will go through and do the variances.
Okay. So, as we have submitted, it will be a Jimmy John's Dunkin' dual drive-through. So, it's off Market Street. The unique thing about the unique portion of the site plan is that we were able to really self-contain all of the traffic movements off. Nothing hits Market Street. So you come in off of here, go in, and it's all internal to that internal parking lot. So with a double drive-through, it's really important for signage and people to understand the movements. And we have a good amount of area to move around, bypass lanes, things of that nature, to get cars through and out. Right now, both the Dunkin' business is seeing 90% of their business through the drive-through. Wow. Operation, busy hours are 6 to 10. Jimmy John's doesn't really open until 10, so we don't really have any cross movement with those. With this being a dual business and double drive-throughs, within the site. And let's see, the exterior elevations, some of these new Duncans, I don't think that there's one close that I've done, but, so Duncan went through an image, rebrand a couple years ago, and they've gone away from the bright, they went through a purple phase and a pink phase and things like that, so it's much more muted tones. We've got, and then Jimmy John's is mostly black, black and red and grays. So that's what the whole building aesthetic is mostly grays, whites, blacks, with some pops of color. So here's the front facade. Each business will have their own entrance. Here's the Jimmy John's drive-through here. Opposite side is the Dunkin' drive-through. The Dunkin' drive-through will have two windows, one pay and one pickup. So it's easy, and that's really for us to get cars through there very quickly. They love to see 90 seconds, so that's what they strive for. It's very fast. You don't see, the one thing that we don't see is we don't see people getting dozens of donuts through the drive-through. They usually come in, so it's the coffees, it's the sandwich stations. As I talked about before, these operators I've worked with them personally for about 10 years. They have stores in Port and Warsaw, and they do a very good business. They're very fast. They go over and above for, especially the Dunkin'. When you have 2 espresso machines, they have 3. They want to move people through very fast. So, and then Jimmy John's, they're new to the Jimmy John's franchise, but they're very excited to bring it to Williamsport. And typically for Jimmy John's, it's not heavy drive-through traffic. We're seeing more, but not as much as a Dunkin'. So, on the site plan though, the nice thing is that because we have so much room, is we are able to have pull ahead spaces on both sides. So you get a big order or something like that, we're never going to be blocking up traffic. The Dunkin' pull ahead spaces are over here. The Jimmy John's spaces are over here. So and then there's ample room for team members to come out and give them they really don't do curbside orders. That's kind of fallen away. But there is ample room for any team member to come out and give the guests their goods. So the double drive-through works similarly. I'm sure you're familiar with the McDonald's is doing this quite a bit. It's all automated on a loop system, so they really know like where the cars are. We have 2 order points, and then they merge into one. It's really just splitting these cars out. They close one down after a certain point in the day. So most of the day will be one. It's only those busy times that we see too. If I can answer any other questions, I'd be happy to. And like we talked about before, there is patio seating, and the focus of the buildings are towards Market Street.
Do you have the overall site plan where the dollar store is?
You know what? I don't have it with me. I know that the part of the agreement with the dollar store is that's part of the reason that we have to be this far back, is so that we're not blocking this business over here.
Do you have questions, Mayor?
I got a few, and I got other things. So we have 2 different things. We would have to go on the review, the development plan review. And then also they're asking for 2 variances, which I think we may need to throw a couple more in as I was looking closer. So the trash can closure is gonna be 10 feet from the property line instead of the 15 that is allowed. So there would be a 5-foot variance. And then the corrugated metal, which they're using concealed fasteners, but I don't think in that area for the PUD, the metal is allowed. So that's one of the variances also. And then I do have a question. I gotta find my questions. The signage, where, do you have a placement of all the, like wayfinding signs? This right here.
So they are, on ours, they are listed as directionals. I know we have, like, there's one here that talks about do not enter.
Okay.
We've got one down here for drive-through, and there, you know, if you feel that there's more needed, we can absolutely add them. I know there's one here.
Because typically it would be 2 per curb cut.
Okay.
And so if you're having more inside, we would have to do a
For
variance for that.
directionals.
Yeah.
Okay.
So there would be a variance for that if,
I think I'm really only seeing, I've got one here, and there's one right here, so I really
Okay.
only got 2.
okay,
Yeah,
then we're good on that.
okay.
And then the sizes of the signage, do you know the size of the big Jimmy John's logo? I could not find it.
I think I've got it on here. The one on the front or the one on the side?
Well,
Oh,
the one on the side, like the big logo with the sandwich?
yeah, that's where that was one thing that I wanted to actually ask, is that considered a sign?
Yes,
Okay,
because it is a logo of,
of theirs, right, okay. I had that with me, I do not.
because on the front, the Jimmy John's and the Dunkin' on the market side are fine.
Okay,
But it's a total of 100 square feet, any
For-
number
for
of
everything?
signs, because we just changed that language.
okay,
And so there would probably need a variance for that sandwich sign, because it's kind of like the big Wendy's logo they have.
right,
And so we would have to add that to there too.
okay. I can get that information really quick for you.
And then, parking's good. They're supposed to have 1 per 4 customers, except for employees. Do you know how many employees are gonna be on like the biggest shifts?
On the biggest shift, a Dunkin' is about 6 to 8
Okay.
on the morning shift, and Jimmy's, I think, is about 4 to 5.
Okay.
It's much less.
Because you'd have to have 12 spaces for the seating, and then, so 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
And there is cross parking agreement
Okay,
on those middle spots
Okay.
where you come into the site. There is a
All right.
cross access.
so parking's good?
Access and parking.
All my notes, I'm sorry. This is a lot.
I'll get that. Sandwich square footage right now. I guess, is that something that you guys like to see, or is it something that you'd like to see removed?
I don't know, I mean,
It looks pretty cool on the building. I think it gives a little bit of, it breaks that long wall up a little bit. It is big, you know, I mean,
Yeah.
Well, the signage at the mall, I mean, as the development continues on the mall, you're gonna see large signs like that anyway.
yeah,
You know what I mean? So, I don't have a problem with it.
okay, I'm getting it for you right now.
okay. Other than that, I don't think I have anything else in my notes. We'll just have to do you guys have any other questions?
I do.
Okay.
I do. So my name is Greg Toth. I'm the CEO and superintendent of Logansport Utilities. So we've asked 5 times for these plans and not gotten them.
Oh, I'm sorry, okay.
5.
Okay.
So I just asked my team, do you have any plan on how you're going to get power to this site?
Let's see.
And then where you're going to get water and sewer to the site?
Okay, I will, with the civil engineer that we're working with, we were, working together to try to get the trash,
Yeah.
areas, make sure we're good with that. So I believe he's still working on some of those utility plans. So
Okay.
I cannot get them, I promise you I will get them for
Okay.
you.
I want to see this get built as quickly as possible. And I am a huge supporter of having this built here. And I want it done yesterday.
Hey,
Yeah.
it won't be until spring.
But I, if timing is the way it goes, I would not see the transformer and the other electric gear being available for at least 12 to 16 months.
Understood, and that's where I know I just had a conversation with the
Okay.
contractor yesterday. One company is 24 months out.
Right. Okay, so you know what I'm talking about then.
Yeah, I get it.
Okay.
It really depends on which company, but I know the utilities themselves are, you have issues as well.
What, getting the transformers. So what we really need is the size of the service.
Got it, okay,
We have some transformers in stock.
okay,
They are kind of first come, first serve.
okay.
And so, to give you an example, in the flow of things, we had another sandwich, not your kind of sandwich store, but a fast food store come to us and say, we want to put a facility in here, and they're far down the road. I don't even know they've come to you yet, except for early conversations. It's, I don't know what we're calling it, chicken.
Operation Chicken.
Operation Chicken. Well, they came to us and said, we need this size service and we need this transformer, and they put their hand up for it. And they are, I don't even know when they're down the road. They're nowhere near even getting permitting or permission, yet they asked for the transformer well in advance because they knew that these things are backlogged. So I think,
Should I put our civil engineer in touch with you?
yes,
Okay,
for both those things, for water, sewer, and electric.
okay,
Because we'll want to, we have power there. I mean, we have three-phase service right on Market Street. So that is about, 100 feet.
yeah.
That's not the problem. It's the transformer.
Okay, and I know for the, I'm pretty sure for both, I'm confirming right now, but for the Duncan, I know it's no more than 600 amp service.
Yeah,
And for the Jimmy's, I believe it's a 400 amp.
yeah, sure. So, I mean, it's standard stuff, right? It's exactly, it's typical. But being typical is part of the problem too, because that's
Exactly, that's what everybody wants.
and, I'm not going to get on my pedestal now and say, why aren't these being made at a record pace across the country? Why is there a backlog of 24 months for transformers, which is ridiculous? But that's the way it is. I mean, we're buying them up as quickly as we can. The water and sewer is tricky on this spot, just for the way it's designed and how it's set up. And so, we'll just have to work through that when he calls it. There's not a backlog on that. That's just design work.
It's just getting through what you, and we want to
We
make
won't backlog that. That's just a matter of getting it done and making sure it fits in with how the sewer flows there. Water comes in right off of Market Street. I think the biggest holdup will be understanding the transformer timing.
And is that, just so I know, is that, to start the process, do you need the owner to start the process, or can the civil start? The
Yeah,
process?
he just send us the plans, and once we see the size
I
of it,
don't think he's done, we're done with our portion, he's not done with
Yeah.
his, so.
Yeah, as soon as we know what size to get, we'll start looking for it.
Okay. I did get confirmation it is Duncan 600 and
Yeah.
Jimmy John's 400.
Okay.
So, and I will, would it help you to have not just the utility plans from the civil, I will get you the Duncan and Jimmy John's plans.
Yeah, that's what we want to see. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, that's what we want to see. Yeah. And then how it's going to be metered, how, are they going to be separate services?
Separate services.
Yeah, okay.
I will have, his name is Tom Hardy.
Okay.
I'll have him call you.
Okay. I will, when we get those things, I'll do everything I can to push it as fast as we can.
And like I said, we can't, obviously right now, it's October, we're not going in the ground this year.
Yeah,
We can't. So the earliest we can get in the ground is March,
yeah,
probably.
yeah,
And that's just, where we're at.
yeah, sure.
In this time of year, so,
Okay,
I think we're, I think we're okay. I don't, he wasn't thinking he was getting open by December.
yeah,
So.
okay. Well, as soon as you can get them to us, we'll size it up and make a plan out of it.
Okay, for sure, I will have him get in touch with you.
Perfect.
I do have square footage.
Awesome.
Okay, the sandwich itself, if we're drawing a rectangle around it, is 126 square feet.
Okay.
So it's quite large.
So,
Appreciate it.
so also adding to the variances.
Yeah, I'm gonna give that to the planner and other folks, so send it to me and I'll get everybody introduced.
Absolutely. Do you want him to call you to discuss, or just?
No, I'll get it all set up with everybody. We'll just forward it along. They can talk their talk.
Okay, thank you.
So with that being 126 square feet, there would be a variance definitely for that 126 square feet for that sign. And then also your directional or wayfinding signs, we allow 3 feet, so there would be a variance of 1.82 feet.
Okay. Is logo allowed on that or not? On the directional?
Yeah.
Okay, some municipalities don't allow the logo, they just allow in, out.
Oh, no.
Yeah, no, that's
Okay.
Right. We can't read what's on the sign. So,
right.
other than that, I think, is there anybody in the audience? Nobody's here. All right. Anything else from anybody? Is there written correspondence? No written correspondence. Any other questions, comments?
Nope.
All right, does the committee have conditions of approval and commitments to attach to the motion? If so, can you read them? Don't have them with us. What are the regular commitments? Oh, read them from the minutes. The conditions.
The following condition of approval, number 1, that all proposal of the petitioner be made conditions of approval. Number 2, that all other standards of the ordinance be met. Number 3, that all applicable state and local permits be obtained and proof be given to the zoning administrator.
Do you agree to these conditions and agree to abide by these conditions should the petition be approved?
Yes.
All right. Is there a motion to bring case 23-05 to a vote?
I make a motion.
I'll second.
Discussion is closed. The board will take a few minutes to consider their findings of fact. And do you guys want to vote on these together?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. the recording secretary please take a roll call vote?
Greg Toth,
Yes.
Jonathan Nelms,
Just us two.
okay, Jamie Harper,
Approved.
Chris Martin.
Approved.
Your case number 2305 has been approved with conditions. The PUD administrator will send you a letter with the results of this hearing. Any decision of the committee may be appealed by the petitioner or any interested party to the Logansport Common Council if filed within 30 days of today's date. Thank you all for your cooperation in this hearing. And we have no reports, business. Any public comments? Nobody. Do I hear a motion to adjourn?
Make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Meeting is adjourned at 9:38.
Thank you.
It doesn't have to be final. It doesn't have to be final.